Hey, talking about Rogue Protocol, number 3 in the Murderbot Diaries, I believe also published in 2018. Um, Apparently this is going to be at least a quadrology because we have not had more answers. Um, these are definitely kind of like character studies of Murderbot and the various creatures and humans that it meets along the way. Um, in this book, he, it, they, Murderbot, discovers that Dr. Mensa is sort of still enmeshed in the whole schmazzle of Grey Chris trying to murder them, trying to cover up whatever happened, um, and rather thinks that the data for that is going to be on this terraforming platform that circles the planet. And Murderbot just suddenly goes, "Then I'm going to help her. That's what I'm here for." She's sort of still, he still has this kind of a client thing to her, to Dr. Mensa. So he stows away on a cargo ship that's actually heading to the station. He thinks it's going to be doesn't have any people in it, but actually it turns out it does. It's got two human security experts who are coming aboard. So Murderbot quickly stows itself in a storage unit. It doesn't eat, doesn't defecate. That way, it definitely is very much more mechanical. Though it finds that now that it's gotten used to not being kind of stowed away, as it's been kind of posing as it's been posing as an augmented human. Augmented humans and murderbots seem to actually, on at least surface level, be able to kind of look a lot the same. They get to the station, and the security things are there to do security for the scientists who are sort of doing the investigation of this station. Dr. Abea being the kind of the primary person. Dr. Abea has a friend, a bot, which is strictly mechanical. Um, that is it Billy, Tommy, who is friends with his human and loves the human, and the human seems to actually love him. And this really pisses Murderbot off because it's sort of like that thing of like, it's like they don't love you. You're just an object. You're just being fooled. But as he kind of goes along, it's like oh, it's never been never been mistreated by its humans, which is like something that Murderbot cannot say because it's been tortured by plenty of the humans, maltreated in many ways, other than Dr. Mensa, who he definitely decided I don't want to be in a patronizing relationship with and left. Um, so they go on the station, and indeed there are lots of uh, difficulties and dangers, and maybe Grey Chris has left stuff behind, or there's stuff there that is going to cause trouble. Perhaps there are operatives that aren't seen. Perhaps the security detail that has been sent aren't exactly what they look like. Um, but Murderbot is determined to get the data that will help Dr. Mensa expose Grey Chris as basically as killing killing the survey units and doing illegal what do they call it? Basically, they're doing illegal trade in alien artifacts and alien biology. Um, at least that seems to be the thing. The definitely kind of the criticism of these novels is that we're not. I think we've gone through this entire novel, and I feel like we haven't really gotten very much further in any illumination of what the hell's going on. I expressed frustration in the last novel that Murderbot was sort of trying to find out about its origins, about why it had it murdered all these miners and had its memory wiped, in a past life, which is why it turned off its governor module and has thus become a rogue sec unit. Rogue meaning enjoys to watch, wants to be left alone and watch its soap opera, Sanctuary Moon, which it does a lot. Watches a lot of Sanctuary Moon, a lot of entertainments. It much more enjoys fictional humans than it does real humans. It does not consider itself a human. But we don't really find out, well, what was behind that there, what was behind this there. It's like, I guess we're using the thing of like Murderbot just doesn't care. Murderbot only cares about helping its human. It's human. Maybe it's like, you know, with how this one goes, at the end of it, something, we don't know what, has been gained, and Murderbot is going to deliver that to Dr. Mensa in the next book. So maybe the next book will somewhat make this a complete story. I complimented the first book in this, All Systems Red, that it felt like a complete story. Unfortunately, Artificial Conditions and now Rogue Protocol both feel very partial. Now, while Artificial Connections had art as that kind of a really cool, interesting relationship of sort of a smarter creature, an AI ship, asshole something transport. This one has a relationship with I want to call it Tommy, this little bot who is kind of simple and naive, but very loyal, and there's some bit of a challenge there of like the relationship that this bot has with its humans, and something that I don't think Murderbot actually thought was possible, and now has to kind of consider as it's going back to what kind of it might consider its human, Dr. Mensa, who, you know, for all the rejection, it sort of volunteered itself to help her again, which is kind of interesting. So that is interesting. I do hope that sort of more of the mystery I kind of hope the mystery gets wrapped up in the next one. I will take a little bit more of a break to get to that one, like a week or something, to get to that one. I would have to say that I think if you're someone who, like, you read one and then it was several months later or whatever that you read the next one, this might get a little tedious. And even like doing them close together, it is a little bit tedious that we're getting such a slow drip of information. I mean, I guess the Murderbot Diaries are sort of like Sanctuary Moon, the fictional soap opera inside this, and that we're getting the continuing story where, but I hope, unlike a soap opera, this will have a kind of a wrap-up of storylines as we go forward. So, yeah, that's my review of Rogue Protocls. I'll go on next week or something like that. We'll see, whenever I feel like it. All right, more videos later.